The robots are coming. The robots are coming. Pack your shit, folks. That's right. Skynet is going to be taking over. Hollywood, possibly, because we got the writer's strike. That's happening, currently still happening. First thing that I wanted to talk about was this Deadline article when it came to Warner Brothers Discovery and David Zaslav. Some people were not too happy about this right here, what he had to say when it came to the writer's strike. Warner Brothers Discovery's hour-long earnings call omits any mention of WGA strike, but CEO David Zaslav tells CNBC he believes a love for working will end it. So he's saying, like, people just want to work. Co-host Andrew Ross Sorkin and Joe Kernan suggested that studios might be glad that the Guild is on strike because they will be able to cut costs. Zaslav hastily replied, "We're not glad." The exec said he is eager for a resolution to the strike, which threatens to halt Hollywood's momentum after the clouds of COVID were just starting to part. In order to create great storytelling, we need great writers. We need the whole industry to work together. Everybody deserves to be paid fairly. He said proper resolution would be done in a way that makes the writers feel they are valued, which they are, and compensated fairly. And then off we go. But then we got this article right here from Above the Line. The AI revolution has already reached the studio's gates, and Bob Iger may be the only CEO who can stop it. Bum, bum, bum. For weeks, multiple studios and streamers have been planning to use AI to generate scripts based on books and other IP that is in the public domain, with a list of titles making the rounds among development executives. Multiple insiders have told Above the Line. I'm reliably told that nearly every studio has already explored the possibility, and that should those plans come to fruition over the weeks, and likely months to come, the studios plan to hire writers to rewrite those scripts once the writer's strike is over. So, yes, AI might be writing those scripts, but then they have a human element to check the scripts and rewrite them. That is, of course, a major sticking point in these negotiations, as the WGA is insistent that AI not be used to create any literary material whatsoever. In case you haven't been paying attention at the headlines for the last few days, of course, talking about all that, well, I'm firmly on the writer's side here and believe that AI will never be capable of writing a truly great movie like The Social Network, or even a very good one. It can aid a writer and also provide a framework that the writer can tweak, but their own stamp of humanity on, but put that on there. Thereby speeding up the development process and saving the studio some shekels, since it won't have to pay writers to start from scratch, which is precisely why the Guild is pushing back. I mean, it's taken over everything. AI is just taking over everything. It's going to be interesting because, like I said, even the Russo brothers were saying that AI-written movies are going to be coming out in like the next 2 years. And I think with the writer's strike, it might be just like how when it came to the whole streaming wars and putting everything on streaming, the pandemic just like yanked that thing forward. You know, we all knew that it was going to end up streaming, but it wasn't going to be for another 5, 6, 7 years before everything was just going to be like streaming. But the pandemic just like nudged it forward. Now, when it comes to the writer's strike, now they're nudging the whole AI AI writing scripts and everything. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. I'm just wondering when we get our first AI written movie. You know, that's what's going to be interesting, and see what the perception of that is. And I mean, I'm sure they're going to use marketing and say like, oh yeah, this was written entirely by AI. They're probably going to market whatever that is, whether it's a TV show or a movie. It's just going to be interesting. But you knew that was going to be coming. I mean, it just seems like it just keeps getting better and better and better. And I know we're all kind of nervous about it. And I'm sure like when it comes to the writers, they're probably kind of nervous about it either, because I mean, this is happening all over the place when it comes to AI and computers. I mean, look at what was happening like with McDonald's. What? You want $20 an hour? Well, get the fuck out of here. We got a machine that people can just touch, and it gets all gross. That's the only bad part about those, pre-order machines, is like those need to be wiped off frequently. And let's face it, if you ever seen one, sometimes they're not.